How are you guys doing? My name is Mark Lee. Welcome to my beginner's guitar course. So excited to be here with you at the beginning of your guitar journey. Over the next 30 lessons or so, I'm going to take you from maybe you've never even picked up a guitar before ever to by the end of this course, you're going to be able to strum some chords in the most common keys that come up in playing guitar. We're going to learn some single note scales and melodies that will be sort of a building block for you to be able to play rhythm guitar as well as lead guitar in the very near future. First of all, you may be wondering, who is this guy, this Mark Lee guy? So I'll give you a little bit of my background. I've been playing guitar since I was a teenager. I've been playing for over 30 years, 27 years professionally. I was a founding member of the band Third Day. We put out 13 albums, traveled literally around the world. So I feel like I've got some experience from playing guitar that I can share with you guys in this course. You may be wondering what's different about my course versus some other beginners guitar books, courses, methods, because there's a whole lot of different things that you can do to learn how to play guitar. All kinds of resources all over the place. Something I have noticed about a lot of books and courses and beginner guitar methods is they make things way too complicated at the very beginning of your guitar playing. And I'll give you a couple of examples. One is with any meaningful activity in life, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but I feel like a lot of these guitar books make that learning curve even steeper than they really need to be. A lot of the reason for that is they have you learning to read music right at the very beginning. Now, there are some different schools of thought as it pertains to reading music. I'm not going to get involved one way or the other, really. The only thing I'll say is what you want to do at the beginning of playing guitar is learn how to strum some chords, learn how to play some songs, learn some melodies. None of those things involve reading music. But if you go into the local music store, grab a book off the shelf, chances are they're going to teach you how to read music. And those things that I talked about, the learning chords, playing melodies, you won't be able to do those things until you've been playing for at least a couple weeks, if not longer, a few weeks. Whereas with this, you play guitar right off the bat, and then you can make an informed decision as a guitar player as to whether you want to learn how to read music or not. What tends to happen a lot of times with people using these beginning guitar methods is there's a disconnect between your skill level at playing guitar. You can very quickly learn how to strum some chords. You can very quickly learn how to pick out some single note melodies. Learning to read music takes a little bit longer, so there will be a disconnect. Your playing ability on guitar will be progressed to a certain point, but you'll be held back by your ability to read music. You'll be frustrated, you'll be bored, you're thinking that you don't like playing guitar, but what you don't like is reading music. So I've separated that. We're going to learn how to play guitar first, and then you can make that decision whichever way you want to go. I'm not trying to steer you one way or the other. I can read music. I've been reading music for most of my life. I honestly don't need to read music a whole lot with the style of guitar that I play, but that's a decision that you can make for yourself. But first, let's get you playing guitar, and then you can decide. I think another thing that beginner courses and books and methods do to make things overly complicated is they are trying to skirt around the issue of bar chords. And in doing so, they'll give you these, like for example, for a B chord. Don't worry that you don't know what a B chord is. We're at the very beginning of the course. I just wanted to give you an example. So for a B chord, they'll show you this chord form right here. Something like that for a B chord. And being 100% honest, that right there is the first time that I've played those notes on the guitar together like that in like 20 years. What I like to do is instead of giving you these easier ways to play these chords that you don't really need to know how to play, I'll go ahead and show you how to play power chords on the guitar. So it's these simple two-note chords on guitar that come up all the time. I use these every day playing guitar. They're very easy to play. two notes. You use two fingers to play those, so I can show you how to play those. And you'll play those instead of bar chords, instead of these weird other chords that you won't ever need to play again. So that's one way that I've made that learning curve a little bit easier, a little bit more practical. Another thing where I feel like guitar courses and books and methods make things more complicated than they have to is when they're showing you chords, and again, don't feel like you have to know these, but in the key of G, they'll teach you the G chord, they'll teach you the C chord, all good so far, but then they'll show you this D7 chord. So in my opinion, there's no reason right out of the gate at the very beginning of playing guitar to need to know how to play 7 chord. They're great chords, they're useful, but then what you're going to have happen though, you'll know this chord, and then the next key that you'll learn is the key of D. The first chord that you learn in the key of D is a D chord, but you don't know how to play that because you've learned how to play this D7 chord instead. So we're going to do away with all of that. I'm just going to teach you the basic major chords, minor chords, the open chords that you're going to be playing in the most common keys on guitar. So between that, making that learning curve a little less steep, and then the other thing that we're going to do is what I've noticed through many years of teaching guitar is the students that start playing guitar and then become successful guitar players, meaning that they continue to play guitar after a few weeks and months, is they're playing guitar a little bit every day. A lot of times, the guitar players that aren't successful, the ones that play for a little while and then put it back down, besides the ones that are trying to learn to read music when they want to be learning to play guitar, besides that, is somebody will be super excited about guitar and they'll practice for like 2 hours one day. Well, one, you're going to hurt your fingers because you haven't built up any calluses yet. But then two, you play for a couple hours, you put your guitar down, and then the next time you pick it up a few days or a week later or more, you've pretty much forgotten everything you did on that first day. So instead of that, I think it's way more beneficial at the beginning of playing guitar to play a little bit every day, to play for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So that's why I've got this course laid out the way that I do. If you look at it, there are 30 lessons. Each lesson is 10 to 20 minutes, somewhere in that range, and it's progressive in that you'll learn something the first day, then the next day you'll review that and learn a little bit more, and then the next day you'll review things from before and then learn a little bit more. So my plan is you're going to be playing a little bit every day. I'm going to be right there in the trenches with you, showing you the right things to be playing every day. And then at the end of 30 lessons, yes, 30 lessons would be a month, so ideally if you played a little bit every day, I'm confident that you could in about a month, give or take, be able to learn everything that you need to learn to become a guitar player. I also realize that everybody's schedule is a little bit different. You may need a little extra time to review, so it may take a little bit longer than a month. It could be 6 weeks or 2 months, something like that. But even still, in just a few weeks, you will be off and running and playing guitar. Most importantly, though, I'm trying to teach you right at the beginning the things that you need to know to be able to play songs, because that's what we're ultimately wanting to do. Is we're taking this instrument that is mysterious, we don't know anything about it, and learning enough to where we can be playing songs, because that's what we want to be doing. So that's the goal, to get you playing songs as soon as possible. So I've taken out all of the complicated stuff, and I've got just the basic things that you need to know to strum chords and all of the keys that come up most commonly in guitar, and then just enough single note melody to build you a foundation so that you can stretch out and play lead guitar very soon. So excited to have you in this class and look forward to helping you, be there right beside you as you're learning to play guitar, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.